Okay, so I wasn't going to do a video on this because I wanted to see how things pan out, but this story is getting more and more interesting. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Renaldo Gouws debacle. But before I get into that, ladies and gentlemen, please leave a like on this video, share it far and wide, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All right, let's get into it.
Criminals must taste you.
Ma'am, can you give me protection from yourself?
Did I hear that correctly? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Newsflash. I'm your host, Joe Emilio. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so for those of you who may not know, although I'll be surprised if you don't know, Renaldo Gouws has been caught up in a racial scandal due to a video that was dug up from 2010-ish. And they dug hard to find this one. In the video, he uses racial slurs as shock content to grab the viewer's attention. He later, in the same video, states,
"I didn't mean anything I said there, but I wanted to evoke a response out of you so that you can understand what the next part of the vid's about."
At the time, he was comparing what he said at the start of the video to what Julius and other politicians in South Africa at the time were saying, specifically how some have called for the killing of the boer, or farmer, in South Africa.
Kill the boer, the farmer.
In the video, he asks, what would people do? What would South Africa do if a white man called for the killing of black people? Ironically, we're kind of seeing that play out right now.
Can you appreciate the irony?
Now, I'm going to be upfront at this point and say that I do not agree with the use of language that Renaldo Gouws used in that video. I think he could have made the same point without using those racial slurs. There's no doubt about that. However, the actual message in that video was about the double standards that exist in South Africa when it comes to racism. And I do agree with Ronaldo on that point. MK's Andile, and I cannot pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to try it because I'll end up offending someone, was recently sworn into parliament. The same guy who said this.
For each one person that is being killed by the taxi industry, we'll kill 5 white people. For every one black person we'll kill 5 white people. We'll kill one of us, we'll kill 5 of you. We'll kill the children, we'll kill the women, we'll kill anything that we find on our way.
And the court deemed it not hate speech. Why? Well, context. Andile won the court case because he or his legal team argued that the reason why Andile said these horrible things is because he was reacting to what Johan Rupert said in an interview. Apparently, in an interview, Johan Rupert stated, and jokingly I might add, that he had a private army in the taxi industry, and Andile took that as a threat. In essence, the court ruled that Afriform failed to prove that these statements made by Andile constituted hate speech within the legal framework of PEPUDA, considering the context and the principles of freedom of expression. So, apparently, to the courts, context is important. At least for Andile's case, it was, and it should be important when it comes to Ronaldo's case as well. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, Ronaldo is not racist. Many South Africans were duped by IOL, who cleverly edited the video of Ronaldo to only show the shocking bits of the video, with no context whatsoever. On its own, it does look like the rantings of a madman. But once you watch the full video and you have the full context, you will see that Ronaldo was not some mad racist calling for the killing of black people. He wasn't calling for the killing of anyone. He was just pointing out the double standards that exist in South Africa when it comes to racism. The South African Human Rights Commission is taking Ronaldo to the Equality Court, the same court that they took Andile to. And this will be the true double standard test. I find it hard to believe that Ronaldo will go to jail. I mean, I think if anything, he's going to be vindicated. But is the damage already done? Some say that this was an orchestrated plan to smear Ronaldo and make the DA look bad to destabilize the GNU, or Government of National Unity. I mean, they dug really hard to find this video of Ronaldo. It was deleted soon after he posted it. They had to dig deep. I mean, they went to some YouTube archives to try and find this video, or website archives, or whatever it is. Come on, there's something fishy here. I mean, do you really hate that guy so much, or are you serving an agenda? At this point, anything's possible. They even tried to go after Ian Cameron, but it seems that attempt has failed. We can definitely see that the media was more focused on Ronaldo's story than the Andile story. Ronaldo's story was trending for like a week, while Andile's story did trend, and it is still kind of trending, but the outrage is nowhere near the same. Also, there was a Backup Buddy campaign for Ronaldo's legal fees, which was taken down. Backup Buddy took it down themselves, claiming the campaign was spreading misinformation and promoting hate speech. I'm paraphrasing what they said. Interesting how Backup Buddy has come to that conclusion even though Ronaldo's court case hasn't even happened yet, and there's no ruling for it yet, but they're just taking public opinion. It just shows how biased the media actually is. Another observation or question to ask here is what's going to happen to Andile, because he should be suspended from parliament. Someone like that really shouldn't be in parliament. I mean, if you're going to argue that Ronaldo shouldn't be in parliament, then Andile shouldn't be in parliament either, right? But because Andile was apparently cleared of the charges, I guess he can stay in parliament. But if that's the case, then when Ronaldo eventually does get cleared of these charges, then he should be allowed, or he should be reinstated by the DA and allowed back in parliament, right?
That sounds fair, Sandy.
Rest assured, I'll definitely be keeping an eye on this case, and like I said, things are getting a lot more interesting. If you want to help Renaldo Gouws in his legal battle, then have a look at the details on screen. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think Ronaldo is guilty? Do you think he's not guilty? Do you think this was a smear campaign? Or, I don't know, just let me know your thoughts on all of this. I'd really like to hear from you. And while you're at it, leave a like on this video, share it far and wide, and subscribe to the channel. I've got more content coming your way. And with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Your newsflash is in.
This video is for the owner of Takealot. So if you don't own Takealot, then please go away. Dear Mr. Takealot man, what is your bill for boxes at the end of every month? Because Mr. Sir, let me tell you, I ordered 3 packets of wet wipes and 2 baby balm creams, and they arrived very promptly at my house in 5 different boxes. Sir, was that necessary?